Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the main event for Tailgate Tuesday. Strap yourselves in. We are live at Watkins Glen International for round 13 of the 2021 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series season, hosted right here at Watkins Glen International. It is the New York 200, folks. Last year we saw the underdog win of the year happen at this racetrack, and it was Ayrton Frederick in the 02 Chevy Silverado picking up the win that day. Right now, pole sitter Jesse Carlson, road course expert as well, wheeling it out there and leading the race. We saw Josh Cole Diaz in the 23 take the lead from him and lead the first 5 laps in this one, but since then Jesse Carlson has retaken the top spot, and he has not looked back in that number 88 Ford F-150 Steel Horse Motorsports Ford, and he's looking good. And he finished second in the Canadian Tire Truck race earlier this season, and he had the win in the bag at the Indy Roval Truck event earlier as well, but had to disconnect from the race early, and it was Beam SKP in the number 16 Toyota winning in the Indy Roval race last week. Right now it's Jesse Carlson leading. Josh Cole Diaz is in third now, as Dustin Franklin in the 45 has taken over the second position. I'm NOSSCAR CEO Tyler McMurder, and alongside one of our in-race reporters here, Alex Tesdahl, driver of the number 98 Ford F-150. And strap yourselves in and get ready to enjoy the show, folks. The New York 200 at Watkins Glen is underway. It's a 74-lap event. These drivers are driving these trucks on NASCAR Heat 5 with the presets. Fuel and tire wear is at ×2, so these drivers will have to pit once in Stage 1, and some drivers might be able to make it to the end of Stage 2 without having to stop for gas, so that might make it a little interesting later on. Alex, how is the truck handling so far in this race for you?
It's handling pretty smooth. Doesn't have the race winning pace, but it's decent.
So far you're looking good out there. What position are you running in, and how long do you think that until you're going to make your pit stop?
Currently running 9th, and I think I'll stop in about 3 laps.
All right, well there you have it from Alex Tesdahl. 2 wins for Alex so far in the 2021 NASCAR Motormaster Series season. No wins for him here in the trucks. Came really close earlier tonight at Kansas, and it's looking pretty strong early in the going here at Watkins Glen International as well, running inside the top 10. The battle for the lead looks like this. Dustin Franklin trying to run down Jesse Carlson, and if he can, man, it would be something, because Dustin's looking for his first career NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win, and he's trying to run down quite the road course ace, folks, and road course ringer in Jesse Carlson, that number 88 Ford F-150, the yellow and silver Ford truck just in front of him. Starting to make himself a little bit famous here on these NASCAR Heat 5 game, on this NASCAR Heat 5 game for his road course abilities, and showing him off again here at Watkins Glen International in these trucks. And I love watching these trucks at this road course. It's a high-speed road course, and it's fun to watch these trucks work their way through the bus stop. They're coming up to it right now, and these drivers have been warned before the race began about cutting through the grass in the bus stop, because there are 1 or 2 areas where you can do that without receiving a penalty. There you see them, all these drivers minding their P's and Q's and getting through there clean and doing this the professional way with a lot of integrity out there. And problems for Jesse Carlson. He got loose right there, came back across the track and hit Dustin Franklin. Heavy damage to both of those drivers. Josh Cole Diaz takes the lead.
Oh no.
Yeah, and that's how it is to be an in-race reporter. You get news when you don't see it. Josh Cole Diaz in the 23 has some front-end damage, actually, to the front end there, the nose of that truck, and I don't think he was involved in this, so that might be from something else. Josh has the lead. We can tell you that Dustin Franklin has went to pit road with the damage that he has. Jesse Carlson has elected to stay on the racetrack, and this moves Beam SKP in the 16 Toyota Tundra for Rockstar Racing up into 3rd. There you see him, the lone full-time driver out of France, driving for Rockstar Racing. Runs his own league over on F1 2020. Very successful driver over there as well. Last time I looked, he was 4th in the point standings, the driver standings over there. And He found victory lane for the first time in his NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series career last week at the Indy Roval in that truck race, and here he is at Watkins Glen. A lot of people pointed their fingers towards this driver and their team to winning this event here today. Looking good so far in stage one. More trucks on pit road. Actually, no, that's Dustin Franklin leaving pit road in the 45. Heavy damage to him, and I didn't see exactly how. I guess I kind of did. It kind of looked like Jesse just went a little bit tight through that right-hander and lost control, and then he came back onto the track out of control, and Dustin Franklin had nowhere to go. Beam SKP now on pit road. Josh Colm-Diaz and Jesse Carlson both staying on the racetrack for at least one more lap. So I think that this moves. I'm trying to figure out the rest of the running order here for you. Alex Tesdall now on pit road in the 98 as well. Trey Hollywood in the 40 is on pit road, and I believe this moves Jordan Roughton. It does. Jordan Roughton in the 17 is now up into the 3rd position. He's yet to make his green flag pit stop. He just went through the bus stop through the grass a little bit there. Definitely didn't mean to do that. Didn't gain any speed the way that he did it either, and just kind of soldiering on, hoping to hold on until the end of the stage, it looks like. He's got a big gap until he finds drivers behind him. Stephen Corley in the 99 having a tough time in the same right-hand turn that his teammate Jesse Carlson in the 88 truck had earlier in this race, and he's going to let Cameron Norton in the 3 and Brett Baker in the 2 go by. Those were 4 position inside the top 10. There's Armstrong in the 15. Excuse me, sorry. I'm going to throw it down to the M-Race reporter, Alex Tesdall. Alex, what do you have for us?
I was going to mention I almost lost it myself a few times in that right-hander you've been referring to. So
Yeah, it's been a problem area for a couple of drivers here in this race, and you're a Steel Horse Motorsports driver as well, so might be a team issue there for that right-hand turn, the one you're in right now. Brett Baker on pit road, Cameron Norton in the 3 on pit road, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23 on pit road, surrenders the lead in the process, so all the Timac trucks on pit road now, and there goes Josh in the 23 back onto the racetrack. You see that he's just in front of Beam in the 16 truck, so that's what the battle for the lead is going to look like once the cycle of pit stops are complete. How many laps to go in stage 1?
I have to go.
All right, then. You heard it from
the leader will be taking 4 to go.
You heard it from the M-Race reporter, Alex Tesdall. The leader has about 4.5 laps to go here, and I believe that the leader is right now Jesse Carlson. He's coming to the line right now on pit road, though, so he's going to surrender the lead, and we'll see if Jordan Roughton is going to come to pit road as well. And Dustin Franklin is in a wreck in the bus stop there with his teammate Trey Hollywood in the 40. Both of them were battling for position inside the top 5, but now both of those trucks have serious front-end damage, and the tough part about that, Alex, is they're going to have to take time on their pit stop at the end of stage 1 to repair that damage, and they're going to lose track position because of that. And let's see here where the 88 machine lines up. There you saw actually the yellow and silver Ford pop out onto the racetrack behind these two. So this is what the battle for the lead looks like. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23, Beam SKP in the 16, Jesse Carlson in the 88. 3 different race teams, 3 different manufacturers. And now they go thundering through the bus stop. Timac Motorsports, Rockstar Racing, Steel Horse Motorsports. Jesse Carlson in the 88 Ford is going to have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to the tires. He pit 1 lap later than these two. He takes the 2nd position away from Beam, and it was in the corner that Jesse had the problem in earlier, so maybe proving to himself here that he can still go through there with blistering speed. And we can tell you that Jordan Roughton in the 17 is running in the 4th position. And I believe it's Bradley Gilliland in the 38 running in 5th. Actually, I'm getting them mixed up, folks. It's Bradley Gilliland running in the 4th position, and there you see him in the 38. He's not too far out of sight from the top 3, but he's going to need them to start racing each other a little bit harder if he's going to get up there and battle with them for the Stage 1 win. The laps are running out, and the question is becoming, does Jesse Carlson have enough time to get to the tailgate of Josh Colm-Diaz, and even then, can he get around him to get this Stage 1 win? Josh took this right-hander a little bit in a higher line and entered a little bit quicker. Jesse stayed lower, exits a little faster than Josh, and he's going to have the preferred groove for the left-hand turn coming up. Josh goes way wide out past the rumble strips, now has the inside line for this turn, and he's going to hold on to the lead for now. And I believe that they're coming up to 2 laps to go. Jesse Carlson's going to use the outside line to take the lead going down the front straightaway. Josh Colm-Diaz is going to tuck in line. Beam SKP at a front row seat for that pass. 2 to go, right?
I'll let you know when I hit the line.
Excellent.
Yeah, 2 to go. The white flag when the leader hits the line.
And we saw Harold Burton in the 56 peel down pit road just before these drivers hit the line last time by, which would have been 2 to go, so that's a legal move by the 56 coming to pit road. No penalty for Harold Burton. He's good to go. And it looks like Jesse Carlson's good to go too. He's coming out of the final turn now, and he will see the white flag. And then the next time by, he will see the green and white checkers to signal the end of Stage 1. He's got the 1 lap fresher tires of the 2 drivers, or the top 3 here, and he qualified on pole, and he's arguably the favorite to win this race too. He came in as the favorite. He's definitely the road course ringer of NOSSCAR, or one of, and he's showing us why he was the favorite to win. Stephen Corley in the 99, he had a bit of a spillover in turn 1, we're hearing just a moment ago, and now that's his truck just in front of Jesse Carlson. He's trying desperately to stay on the lead lap, and I know that there's a couple of other trucks that are 1 lap down that really want Stephen to stay in front of this 88. And it's not going to happen. Jesse clears him in the right-hand turn. Stephen Corley staying right with him. Maybe some teamwork, communication might be given here to let the 99 stay on the lead lap if the 23 doesn't get close enough. And it looks like that's exactly what Jesse did right there. He let Stephen Corley go back in front of him. Coming out of the final turn, the Stage 1 win goes to the Steel Horse Motorsports driver, number 88, Jesse Carlson. Josh Colm-Diaz is going to bring it home in second, and you can see Beam SKP right behind him in third. Bradley Gilliland in the 38 is going to bring it home in fourth. Remember, it is the top 5 that receive the stage points, and we're waiting to see who comes in fifth, and it's going to be Dustin Franklin in the 45. Those are the drivers getting stage points. Cameron Norton finished the stage in 6th. Brett Baker finished the stage in 7th, and we're going to be right there with the top 5. And a lot of these drivers are going to need to spend a little bit of time to repair some damage under these pit stops, so it's going to be interesting to see what the running order looks like. I think that there's going to be some drivers gaining and losing. For example, Beam, I don't think, has a mark on that number 16 truck, whereas the 23 and the 88, they both might have a little bit of damage to repair. Well, stage 1's in the history books. New York 200, round 13 of the 2021 NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series season. And I was right, folks. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23, he needed to take time to repair damage. He's restarting in the 4th row, and it's Jesse Carlson and Beam SKP leading them into turn 1. We are green for stage 2.
Wow.
Justin Franklin made a bold move to make it 3 wide with Brett Baker in another truck there. I believe it was Bradley Gilliland in the 38. They all make it through for the most part. And we're watching the chaos unfold from the 5th, 6th on back. Bradley Gilliland, Brett Baker. They make it through now, and they single out their 3rd and 4th. Oh, Josh had to lift a little bit there. Jordan Roughton overdrove the bus stop a bit, and he nearly got challenged for position by Cameron Norton because of it. And I believe he is actually still being challenged for the position. And a couple of trucks got out of shape there. Bradley Gilliland in the 38, Brett Baker in the 2. And Bradley is the one, I think, that mainly got out of control. Brett was right behind him when it happened and just simply got stopped. They both came to a stop against the blue wall over there. I don't think Brett had much place to go. And keep in mind, both those drivers very talented. And Bradley's one of the road course ringers, so he'll be back up there for sure.
Looks like some conflict between the 17 and the 3.
Ooh. Cameron Norton's got the position for now, but hearing contact between the two, and yeah, we're definitely going to keep our eye on that. Both those drivers have been racing in NOSSCAR for quite some time. They know each other really well. Looks like Jordan Roughton trying to work his way by. He might have the quicker truck of the 2 right now. More contact was made there. Cameron Norton actually went up into the wall because of it. And around him went a couple of trucks. Alex Tesdall was able to make a move for position. Armstrong just in front of him. Armstrong's one of the road course ringers, and he's slowly working his way forward. It's Dustin McClintock in the 20. The white Silverado popping into frame just behind Cameron Norton once in a while. He's into the top 10. They're all chasing Jesse Carlson from Steel Horse Motorsports. He's got the lead. Beam SKP runs in 2nd, and he's from Rockstar Racing running in 3rd. Dustin Franklin, the 45 Silverado, putting in a good run here. And Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23 runs in 4th. The top 4 have separated themselves from the rest of the field just a little bit here. And it's Jordan Roughton running in 5th in the 17, trying to run him down. Alex Tesdall just took 6th away from Armstrong in the 15. Behind them, it looked like Dustin McClintock in the 20 got a little bit out of shape. I think that Timmy Brown might have been one of the trucks that made contact with him. And Trey Hollywood was involved as well. Front end damage to the 40 machine, and everybody held it together, pointed in the right direction at the very least. So no serious consequence for anybody, but that's the kind of stuff you need to avoid on these road courses. Track position is key, but also finding your rhythm out there and being smooth and consistent is a big factor in it all as well. To the inside, 4nd goes Dustin Franklin in the 45 Silverado, and he went way wide afterwards because of the big run that he had. And Beam SKP lifted to let him in line, and that's a gentleman move there by the driver out of France. Beam in that red and black and blue number 16 Toyota Tundra. It's a really nice paint job. In Race Reporter and I, Alex Tesdall, we're talking a lot about that truck, and I believe that we both think that it's a custom truck, but it looks like a legitimate paint job from the game. So Alex is going to look into that after this race.
17 off course in the bus stop a little bit. Oh, he's loose.
He wasn't the only one. The 99 of Stephen Corley as well got out of shape over there in the bus stop, as did Timmy Brown in the 8. So 3 different trucks having problems over in the bus stop this most recent time by, and Josh Colm-Diaz has just taken the 3rd position away from Beam SKP in the 16, so put Beam back into fourth. Josh Colm-Diaz, he had to repair damage just a little bit ago in that 23 Silverado at the end of stage 1, so he restarted back in the 8th position. He's now worked his way to 3rd. All 4 of these drivers, and then throw Jordan Roughton, maybe even Jason Armstrong in there. Like, there's a lot of drivers that still have a shot to win this thing. Here's Bradley Gilliland. He's one of the road course ringers. He's running outside of the top 5 right now, but he still has a good shot to win this thing when you consider his road course capabilities, and he's running in the 10th position right now. It's Dustin Franklin that's kind of been surprising me the most a little bit here. Alex, he's not really known for his road course success, and when he contacted me about running this truck race here tonight, he made it more sound like he just wanted to enter so he could get better a little bit on the road courses and just get some laps in. But here he is logging good lap times, and he's actually gaining ground on your race leader, Jesse Carlson, who many consider to be the top road course guy in NASCAR on these preset conditions.
Truck's being pretty aggressive trying to get 5th.
Oh, yes he is. And to the inside he went. The 98 of Alex Tesdall, and he's defending there. Alex Tesdall's worked his way up into the 5th position just in front of Jordan Roughton in the 17, and Cameron Norton's behind him in the 7th spot. Jason Armstrong running in 8th, Stephen Corley running in 9th, and Bradley Gilliland rounding out the top 10. Good battle still all over the track. Yes, sir. No, you saw it right. That's for sure. Jordan Roughton and Cameron Norton bounced off each other again, and that's not the first time that those two have tangled here in the New York 200. Oh, more contact this time in turn 1. Looked like Jordan Roughton was trying to, and then he got loose right afterwards, and he comes right across in front of Cameron Norton. There was contact nearly made when he did that, and instead Jordan Roughton found the inside wall in turn 1, and he's going to lose a number of positions. He's back into the 9th position just in front of Bradley Gilliland in the 38. Can also mention to you guys that it's Dustin McClintock 11th and Harold Burden in 12th, and Harold's maybe actually running in 14th rather. I believe Harold stuck a lap down at the end of stage 1. Timmy Brown, I believe, is actually scored in the 12th position. And this is still what the battle for the lead looks like, and it hasn't changed too much. Jesse Carlson's got it. Dustin Franklin right behind him, about 3-4 truck lengths back. Josh Colm-Diaz about another 6-7 truck lengths behind the 45 in 3rd, and Beam SKP another, I'd say, about 10 truck lengths back in the 4th position. They've really separated themselves from the rest of the field here by quite a bit. It's Alex Tesdall running in 5th, kind of on his own. Ooh, there was nearly contact made there between Bradley Gilliland in the 38, Stephen Corley in the 99, and that right-hander that's been giving some of these drivers issues all race long, and they saved it. They managed to anyways. and they're still battling for position. And this is all just a little bit behind Alex Tesdahl and Cameron Norton. It's the battle for 7th, actually, and Bradley Gilliland is actually going to go to pit road, and so is Harold Burden in the 56. So some strategy happening here. Some drivers we thought might be able to go the distance on the fuel and tires that they have for stage 2, but some might not. And evidently Bradley Gilliland maybe could not. We're going to throw it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdahl. Alex, how many laps left in the stage, and what's it looking like for fuel for you? Is everybody going to have to pit?
I'm definitely going to have to pit. Going to be coming to, I believe, 6 to go, and I've got 4 laps in the tank, so...
Ooh, yeah, so, and that's the thing here as well. Everybody that does need to pit is going to need to do that before the 2 laps to go signal, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. And if you know you can't make it to the end on your tires at the end of the stage, it might be best to come in sooner rather than later just to utilize that fresh grip. Cameron Norton in the 3 found a wall a little bit in that last left-hand turn, and he's going to keep it on the racetrack here still, though. He's just in front of Stephen Corley. This is all happening a little ways back from your race leader. It looks like about 5 seconds, and it's Jesse Carlson that still has the lead, but he's being hounded now. Dustin Franklin is there, folks. We went through the field a little bit, but back up front, the battle for the lead has changed just a little bit. Dustin Franklin now
might have been an issue in 1 right behind me.
Oh yeah, there might have been, and if so, it would have been involving Dustin McClintock rather, and Brett Baker. The 20 and the 2, they looked a little bit slow coming out of turn 1 there, and there is a little bit of front end damage to the 20. It's a good battle for the lead here, and I believe now we have 4 laps to go. Is it 4 or 5? It's 4 or 5 laps to go here at stage 2.
5 to go.
5 to go, perfect. And the top 5 get the stage points. Right now, the top 4 are a pretty safe lock for that, and it's a little bit closer of a battle for the 5th spot, but the battle for the lead is really heated up here as well. Working their way up through the S's here, and then down the long straightaway to the bus stop. Dustin Franklin is all over the tailgate of Jesse Carlson. Whoa, looked like Jesse got a little bit loose coming out of the final turn, and 4 laps to go in stage 2. He's trying to hold on desperately. He won stage 1. He got the playoff point there, and he knows that if he can just hold on for another 4 laps, he's going to win stage 2, but I think he slipped up turn 1 just a little bit. Dustin Franklin is going to go around him and take the lead. I think that they do need to come to pit road as well before the end of the stage, but they're really making things interesting before they have to. And this is the first laps all race long Dustin Franklin has led, and he's looking for his first career NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win, and he's been surprising all of us since the drop of the green flag with the speed that he's brought here to Watkins Glen International. Not necessarily known for his road course abilities, but he's up there mixing it up with the road course ringers like Jesse Carlson and Beam SKP, Josh Colm-Diaz, Armstrong. Bradley Gilliland has already made a pit stop, or else I believe that he would be up there. Remember, he was involved in that incident with Brett Baker, which sent him back to outside the top 10. He worked his way back up to 10th. And now we see some trucks coming to pit road. 3 laps to go. Jesse Carlson stays on the racetrack. Beam SKP comes down pit road. As does Josh Colm-Diaz, as does Dustin Franklin. So this is going to be interesting here. We believe that it'll be Jesse Carlson on pit road next time by. And it's a legal move if he does, because remember, pit road's closed when the leader takes the 2 laps to go signal. And if he is on pit road already, and he's still the leader when he crosses the line when he's on pit road, well, if it closes while he's on pit road, legal move. So I think that might be even the strategy, because the longer he waits, the sooner everybody around the track needs to pit. If they're in front of the race leader right now and they're passing the pit road entrance, and if they need to pit before the end of the stage, they need to do that this time by. And I do believe that Stephen Corley, the 99, is close enough to come down pit road behind the 88 machine. But I can't believe it. Jesse Carlson's going to stay on the racetrack. He might be able to go the full distance here in stage 2. And that might even be the reason why we saw Dustin Franklin get around him. That could be what's going on. And
he'll definitely be close.
Yeah, he's going to be close for sure. He's going for it at the very least. He's hoping to take the white flag, and by that point, if it sputters or anything like that, he knows he's going to be on the lead lap for the start of the final stage. He might lose some track position, but as long as he gets around here to the start-finish line, he won't lose too much. The bus stops successfully now around the swing right-hander, and still has his teammate Stephen Corley behind him. And I can't believe this. There's Josh. He's already pit. He's at the start-finish line area. There's Beam. He is already pit. He's actually in front of the 23. There's Dustin Franklin. He's in front of both of those drivers. And we're just going to simply keep our eye on Jesse Carlson in the 88. If you guys remember, in stage 1, he let his teammate Stephen Corley go by to get his lap back, and I was about to say he might do the same thing again here in stage 2, but Stephen just had a bit of a rough final turn. The white flag is in the air. Next time by, we will see the green and white checkers for Jesse Carlson. We can tell you Cameron Norton was just on pit road in the 3. There you see him leaving pit road. So that's a penalty. See, the only way that Cameron can avoid a penalty is if he pits again at the end of stage 2, and I hope he knows that. Jesse Carlson through the long swinging right-hander. He actually looks a little bit off the pace there. Is he out, or is he just lifting? I believe he's still under power. I don't think that he's out yet. I think he's just being really smart and really conservative here. He might be out now. No, he's still rolling. I think he still has power. He's going through the final turn. And he's going to survive. He's going to make it. And Jesse Carlson wins stage 2.
King might be out. The 8 truck.
And a number of trucks actually were really close on fuel there near the end of the stage. And let me know who the free pass truck is.
Be the 99.
All right, so Stephen Corley is back on the racetrack, or back on the lead lap rather, and he'll be back on the lead lap for the beginning of the final stage. What a stage win for Jesse Carlson. I'm surprised and I'm shocked that he was able to save the fuel. He trapped a few trucks a lap down because of that. And now this really only holds a few trucks on the lead lap. How many trucks on the lead lap?
Like 11 or 12.
All right. It's more than I thought anyway. So 11 or 12 trucks on the lead lap for the beginning of the final stage. The green flag is out, and we're racing again here in the New York 200. And Dustin Franklin did it. He cleared him. He cleared Jesse Carlson. The 45 is the leader. Beam SKP in the 16 right there with him in third. They've gapped the drivers running fourth on back just a little bit. And Brett Baker in the 2 is the one in fourth. The highest he's run all race long. Alex Tesdall rounding out the top 5 right now.
Might be a 3-stop race to the end.
It's going to be a long final stage for all of these drivers, that's for sure. And we know we're going to see several green flag pit stops. I don't think we're going to see any short pitting at this point. I think everyone's going to try to stretch the fuel in the tires as far as they can go in this final stage to make it on those 3 stops and make sure that they're not spending any extra time on pit road. And right now it's Dustin Franklin leading. Jesse Carlson is in second. Beam SKP is in third. Brett Baker is in fourth. Alex Tesdall fifth. Josh Cole Diaz is in sixth. And everybody looking strong through the bus stop there. Some grass getting kicked up in the air a little bit, but nevertheless, everyone making it through okay. And it's these moments, it's these laps after the restarts where it's the most crucial and it's the most chaotic. Everybody's as close together as they have been all race long. Good angle here for the battle between Alex Tesdall and Josh Cole Diaz. It's a battle for fifth.
Going wide.
Oh, yes, he did. And he had to chase it. Oh, and he had to chase it again back the other way. And that is a shame, folks. He was up there in the top 3, excuse me, in 6th, rather, when this happened. And now he has dropped outside of the top 10. It's just in front of Armstrong. And Cameron Norton in the 3. Harold Burden in the 56 behind them as well. Stephen Corley in the 99 right there with them. He's in good company still, but it's not where he's been running all race long, and he's been up there battling for the win, really. So see if he can get back up there. The top 2 have checked out a little bit, and I'm still amazed with the speed. Dustin Franklin in the 45 here. He's got the lead right now. He's in front of Jesse Carlson, and that's what he needs to do. The type of road course ringer that Jesse is, like at this point, really, yeah, Dustin just needs to keep him busy, keep him working hard. Anytime he can get around him or get alongside him, that's the kind of thing that he needs to do. On the front straightaway, somebody kicked up a whole bunch of grass there. Throwing it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall. Alex, what did you see? Was it you?
Yeah, the 38 pushing into the wall for no reason at all.
Oh, man. Yeah, and that's not good. And you lost, I believe, the position right there to him because of that, but you saved it. You're right there with him still. You have Trey Hollywood in the 40 just behind you, and yeah, you're still in pretty good shape here. Bus stop, and and around went Bradley Gilliland, and nobody had anywhere to go. There's a big wreck. Josh Cole Diaz was involved. Trey Hollywood in the 40 was involved, and it looked like Bradley in the 38, he clipped the apron there in that right-hander, and around he went. And several trucks now have some front-end damage. There's Bradley. You can see the side damage he has now, and that's mostly from the impact of the 98 Ford F-150. Alex Tesdall kind of nowhere to go.
Barely missed it.
Oh, you missed it. On our screens,
Yeah.
it looked like contact was made. Okay, good for you. And yeah, that was very close.
Real close, but I didn't touch him.
Yeah, it looked close. There's Beam in third. Brett Baker is the one running in fourth. There you see him. So the top four have a major gap as well. The top two long gone, and then Beam's kind of on his own. Brett is kind of on his own, and then it's a long way back to the driver running in fifth, and that is Alex Tesdall in the 98. Josh Colm-Diaz in sixth in the 23. Trey Hollywood.
Fast.
Trey Hollywood running in seventh in the 40. Running in 8th is Armstrong in the 15. Running in 9th is Bradley Gilliland in the 38. Running in 10th, Stephen Corley in the 99. Oh, Josh Colm-Diaz takes over the 5th position from Alex Tesdall, and so Josh is now the lead truck in the second group, I would say. And remember, Josh had that little incident there in this final stage where he got really out of shape. Whoa, Trey Hollywood drove hard into turn one and found the tailgate of the 98 of Alex Tesdall. They all keep it going, but it looked like he just kind of misjudged turn one a little bit there. Trey did, and they all keep going. It's been a great race here for Dustin Franklin in the 45, putting on a good run here at Watkins Glen International, coming out of the final turn to come around and lead another lap. And you can see with the lead and what the gap looks like back to Jesse Carlson in the 88. He runs in second, and it's about a, let's see here, I think it's about a 1.7 second gap between those two. And then it's Beam SKP, the driver out of France, running in third. Remember, he captured his first Tailgate Truck Series win last week at the Indy Roval, so he came into this race at Watkins Glen very excited. He's one of our road course ringers, and he still has a good shot to win this one, but he might need some sort of strategy on pit road with the pit stops here, or he might need to find a little bit of speed, or he might need to count on some of these other drivers maybe slipping up a little bit and making a few mistakes. Looked like Jesse Carlson found the grass a little bit through the bus stop, for example, so maybe mistakes might be upon some of these drivers here. Top two putting on blistering speeds, and the bus stop is one of the more challenging parts of this road course. Everybody really knows, and it's how tricky it is to get through there. Grass on either side and not really much room for error. And Alex Tesdall lets Trey Hollywood in the 40 go by. That was for the 6th position, so put Alex back to 7. Oh, is he? Okay, so Trey actually a lap down in the 40, so Alex still in the 6th position. Don't blame him there then if it's not a battle for position. And it actually looks like Trey got a little bit out of shape in turn 1, so Alex is going to go back by the 40 machine. See if he can run down Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23.
I was to him, then he almost wrecked in front of me and I had to hit the brakes.
Who's running in 7th behind you?
Armstrong.
That's what I thought. Okay, Armstrong running in 7th in the 15. One of our road course ringers as well. Just not really having the race that he was hoping for at Watkins Glen compared to what he's used to and the type of speed he's used to bringing to these road courses. Stephen Corley in the 99, just behind him, running in 8th. Whenever you're on a straightaway, Alex, let me know what lap you're on.
We're on lap 48.
Excellent. All right then. The battle for the lead is really heated up here, and I didn't see exactly what sparked this. I'm not sure if Jesse started to just naturally reel Dustin in, or if Dustin maybe made a couple of mistakes here. But all of a sudden, we have a good battle for the lead. Jesse Carlson is all over the tailgate of Dustin Franklin in the 45, and now they're coming out of the final turn to the start-finish line, and they're pretty much bumper to bumper here. Dustin Franklin in the 45 is moving over and appearing to let Jesse Carlson go by to take the race lead. There could be some sort of strategy involved with this. Maybe Dustin Franklin in the 45 noticed what Jesse did in stage 2, saving a little bit of fuel there, and maybe that's what he has in mind here in the final stage. Time will tell, folks, because, yeah, it was very clear that Dustin Franklin pulled over and let Jesse Carlson take over the lead, and this is going to be interesting from here on out. Jesse's the new leader, Dustin back to second, and Beam SKP running in third. Brett Baker was right there on the tailgate with Beam, challenging for the position, but he's no longer there. He's still in fourth, though. Bradley Gilliland is on pit road for scheduled service in the 38 machine. And the battle for sixth is still on, folks. It never really cooled down between Alex Tesdall and Trey Hollywood. Actually, rather, Trey Hollywood a lap down. So Alex kind of on his own and able to run clean, consistent laps at this point and not have to worry about too much. The next driver to challenge him for position would be Stephen Corley in the 99. And that's about, oh geez, if I had to take a guess, I'd say it's about 5-6 seconds of a deficit.
Definitely a half.
There we go. I wasn't too far off.
Alright, I'll just let him go. He's fast.
Good call. Trey Hollywood goes by there. Not a battle for position. We also had a truck exit pit road just in front of these guys, and it looked like that was Armstrong in the 15. He was in 7th when he came to pit road. Brett Baker chugging along in 4th. Dustin Franklin putting on a great run here, running in 2nd. Harold Burden inside the top 10, having an okay day, and there's Beam having a good run as always on these road courses, running in 3rd. Josh Colviez in the 23, running in the 5th position. 2 wins this season for him, one of which was the Tailgate 250 at Daytona, one that he'll never forget, I'm sure. And if you missed that one, definitely go back and find it on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel. 24 trucks entered that one, and it was one heck of a race to watch. They're all chasing Jesse Carlson in the number 88 Ford F-150 for Steel Horse Motorsports. We're going to take a short break from full commentary. We're going to leave you with the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall. Be good to our viewers, buddy. Watch the language. And I'll be right back with full commentary, folks. You're watching round 13 of the 2021 NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series season. It's the New York 200 here at Watkins Glen International. Enjoy the action, folks.
Pit stop should be happening in the next couple laps, folks. So. Like the 40 truck right in front of me's gotten a bit loose. 40 and myself are on pit road, and I think a few others followed.
And bringing you back to full commentary, folks, for the New York 200 here live from Watkins Glen International on NASCAR Heat 5. And we're watching what is the battle for the lead. And Jesse Carlson in the 88 Ford F-150 for Steel Horse Motorsports qualified on the pole for this one. He won Stage 1. He won Stage 2. Here he is leading the way in the final stage. Dustin Franklin in the 45 truck. There you see him close behind him. He's running in second, and they're going down the front straightaway now towards the start-finish line. I believe that they put a lap on Armstrong just a bit ago and put another lap on Cameron Norton in the 3 as well. Good battle here. Trey Hollywood, Alex Tesdall, they've been battling with each other all race long. Still good battles really all over the racetrack. Beam SKP in the 16. He's the one running in third still, and he's got quite the distance to make up, though, if he's going to run these drivers down. And we're going to throw it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall. Alex, what position are you in?
Currently running 6th.
And who do you have in front of you on the leaderboard?
It would be the 23 truck.
That's what I thought. Okay, and in front of him would be Beam, right?
No, it'd be Brett.
Oh, okay, perfect. See, yeah, I got to piece things together sometimes here. So it's Josh Colm-Diaz running in 5th. There you see him in the 23 truck, having a good run. Led laps in this race at one point. Had a bit of a slip up here in the final stage, and since then he's just been trying to rebound, and he's rebounded nicely back into the 5th position. Just in front of him in 4th is the 2, Brett Baker. Got a NOSSCAR Motormaster Series win earlier this year on Motormaster Mondays, so he's locked into the playoffs for that series as long as he participates in the minimum amount of races required during the regular season. And here for the Truck Series, it's been a bit of a different story. No wins for him, and he's not necessarily known for his road course success, so to see him up there running in 4th and out there with a good chance to steal a good finish out of this is really something really good to see. And having a good run in that number 2 Silverado, making it look real racy around Watkins Glen International. Here is the battle for 6th and 7th. Alex Tesdall's keeping it for now, and actually, sorry, yeah, who is running in 7th and 8th?
The 38's in 7th, and the 56 is in 8th.
All right then. So Harold Burden running in 8th there. There you see him in the 56 machine. And he's actually the next truck to go one lap down. So we have 8 trucks on the lead lap at this point. The leader's going into turn 1. Harold Burden also going into turn 1. And that's how quick of a pace the lead trucks have been putting on here in the final stage. Of course, no cautions for the road courses. And yeah, Jesse Carlson is laying down quick lap times here. 8 trucks on the lead lap. Bradley Gilliland running in 7th, and surprised a little bit of him running in 7th. He had raced his way all the way up into 2nd at one point in this race. Very much known to be a road course ringer, and finished 2nd last week in the truck race at the Indy Roval. Came into this race with high hopes. He finished in 2nd in the race earlier tonight at Kansas Speedway, and just holding on for a top 10, it looks like, here at Watkins Glen. One of the more closer battles on the racetrack is actually the battle for the lead, folks. Jesse Carlson for Steel Horse Motorsports and that number 88 Ford F-150 looking really racy, but he's got Dustin Franklin hungry for his first NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series win right behind him. They go into turn 1 again. There's Beam. After his first NOSSCAR Truck Series win last week at the Indy Roval, and it was a big moment for him. Locked into the playoffs now, driving for Rockstar Racing. It's the first driver of theirs that's locked into the playoffs. They also have Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 that's probably going to point his way in. Beam looking strong here at Watkins Glen International. And they're all chasing Jesse Carlson. What lap are you guys on, Alex?
61.
Okay then. So when the leader hits the line this time by, which he just did, he is now on lap 62, and therefore we have 13 laps to go in the New York 200. And we can expect all of these drivers on pit road one more time before the checkered flag waves. And the question is, when do they make those pit stops? What do they do on those pit stops? And who's going to come out the race leader? Everyone's kind of settled into their spots around the racetrack. Jesse Carlson and Dustin Franklin are still very much close together and battling for the lead, for the win here at Watkins Glen. There's Harold Burden in 8th. First truck one lap down and on his own, soldiering on there. There's Bradley Gilliland in the 38. He's right there with the 40 machine of Trey Hollywood, but that's not a battle for position. And Bradley's actually gaining ground on Alex Tesdall. That would be a battle for position, but now Bradley's going to pit road for his final pit stop of the race. Here come the leaders down the front stretch now. There goes Jesse Carlson to lead another lap. So it's 12 laps to go here in the New York 200. And he's actually beginning to get away from Dustin Franklin a little bit. There's Dustin in the 45. You can see the gap has grown between those two. And I'm not sure if that's Dustin maybe trying to save some fuel here or what the case may be. And remember, we saw earlier in the final stage, Dustin Franklin, it clearly anyways, it seemed, pulled over and let Jesse Carlson go by when they were going into turn 1, and it brought up the thought of maybe some sort of fuel strategy in mind for Dustin. And since then, he's not gained the ground back too much. He got back there again, and since then has lost it, and I wonder if there's strategy in mind. Pardon me. And coming by the pit road entrance, Dustin's going to pit, Jesse stays out. So evidently there was no fuel consumption going on for the 45, and he's on pit road. Jesse stays out, and this is huge because if Dustin can use those 4 fresh tires for 1 lap sooner, even if it's just 1 lap sooner, he might be able to be in front of Jesse Carlson at the end of the cycle of pit stops. And it's not easy to pass here at Watkins Glen. It's a little easier to be the front of the duo, so we'll see how this all goes, and that might be what Dustin has in mind. Beam stayed on the track as well in the 16, so he's now up into 2nd, but yet to make his final pit stop of the race. We're going to keep our eye on the front runners to see when they come to pit road. There's Josh Colm-Diaz running in 5th. He didn't come to pit road either. Brett Baker running in 4th, stayed out on the racetrack as well. And another lap where Jesse will stay out, so this is interesting.
I've got 2 laps left to fuel, so he's got to be close.
And that's coming from a Steel Horse Motorsports teammate as well. So yeah, we're expecting Jesse to come down pit road within the next 2 laps, 3 at the very, very most. I don't see it being any more than that. And he's been pushing really hard here in this final stage, it appears anyways. So one would think he has not really been saving any fuel. And Josh stays out another time in the 23. Beam SKP in the 16 Toyota Tundra for Rockstar Racing comes to a stop in his pit stall for scheduled service. Last pit stop of the day for him. Here comes Jesse Carlson in the 88 coming around through the final couple of turns. And he stays out again. Good fuel economy for the number 88 team this weekend. He was able to trap a couple of trucks one lap down at the end of stage 2 because of the fact he was able to stay out the entire distance of the stage. He did not need to come to pit road. The question is this slowing him down enough to the point where is Dustin Franklin going to be able to leapfrog him after this cycle of pit stops and be in front of the 88? See if we can find him. There you see him, and he's got 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. He's putting them to good use. That was a good corner there, and this was a nice smooth corner there as well. Not overdriving it either. You could see his left side tires didn't even come close to the grass. Josh Colm-Diaz comes down pit road in the 23. Keeping our eye on the race leader coming around through the final turn. He's coming to pit road. And this was the lap, folks. Trey Hollywood in the 40 is also coming down for scheduled service. Alex Tesdall surrenders the he was 6th before the cycle of pit stops began, but I believe he was 3rd when he came in just now, or 4th. And we're going to have to see where everybody shakes out at the end of this. There's Beam in the 16 Toyota Tundra. I don't think that he's going to come all the way around and be in front of the 88 machine, but the 45 of Dustin Franklin is now coming out of the final turn and going down the front stretch. Jesse Carlson is leaving pit road. And at the end of it all, somehow, some way, it's actually Jesse Carlson still out in front of Dustin Franklin in the 45, and if anything, the gap has actually grown. And that's exactly what Jesse Carlson wanted to see. He's got the fresher tires. He's got a huge gap in between himself and Dustin Franklin. All he needs to do is wheel it around Watkins Glen International for another 8 laps, I believe it is, and he's going to win the New York 200. It's going to put Trey Hollywood another lap down here. Trey was involved in one of those on-track incidents in stage 1 and fell a lap down early, and then it's been kind of just stuck 1 lap down throughout the final stage. He's been showing pretty good speed, and he's been running with the drivers in and around 6th and 7th throughout the final stage, but he just hasn't been on the same lap as them to capitalize. And so Beam SKP still runs in 3rd in the 16. He's got some traffic in front of him there, though. There's Armstrong in the 15 truck and Cameron Norton in the 3 in front of him. Running in 4th, Brett Baker in the 2. And Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23, rounding out the top 5, and they're all very spread out, and unless something drastic happens at this point, it's going to be where they finish.
Definitely keeping that clip. That was intentional.
Uh-oh. Looked like Dustin Franklin lost control a little bit there through that right-hander, and he gathers it back up. He's still rolling, but he lost a ton of track time to your race leader, Jesse Carlson. The good news for him is he's the 3rd place driver of Beam is not close enough to challenge if he were to make a mistake like that even a few more times. So laps are winding down here at Watkins Glen International. What lap are you guys on?
I just took lap 68, and I'm 1 down. So.
Okay, so the leader has 6 laps to go. That means then, and there you see him. There he goes through turn one again. Jesse Carlson in the 88 truck, leading laps here, 5 laps to go. He's coming up on Bradley Gilliland in the 38. He's going to put him 1 lap down, and other than that, I don't believe he's going to catch any other traffic before the end of this race. There's a huge distance after the 38 truck, and there's also a huge distance behind him as well. Dustin Franklin losing ground slowly but surely to the race leader, Jesse Carlson. Jesse's got 2 or 3 lap fresher tires, and those are really coming into good use. And we're going to throw it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall. Alex, what did you think of the race? It's almost over. You're running in the top 10. You had a pretty good race, a little bit of a beat-up front end on the 98 Ford F-150, but what did you think of the race so far?
Overall, it's been a pretty smooth race. Haven't been involved in much, and yeah, looks like we're going to bring home a decent finish. So
there you go. He's still running in the 6th position, I believe it is, correct?
Currently 8th.
Ah, okay. What was the biggest challenge for you in this one?
I really don't know. I've been alone most of the race.
Well, good luck to you in the final laps in this one. There's a few trucks off the racetrack. Stephen Corley in the 99, Jordan Roughton in the 17. Of course, Nick Donfrancesco as well. He did a start and park to get the points here tonight. There you see him. And other than that, I think that everybody else is still on the racetrack, rocking and rolling. Bradley Gilliland has went a lap down to the race leader, Jesse Carlson. Jesse actually is coming up on another truck in front of him there. And I thought that he was clear of any traffic in front of him. I guess the driver in front of him might have actually had some sort of problem, perhaps. It's Dustin McClintock on the 20. He's got a lot of front-end damage on that Silverado. Oh, and around goes Jesse Carlson. This is in the corner This is in the corner right after the bus stop, and thankfully he has a pretty good lead over second place Dustin Franklin, because Dustin was not close enough to capitalize. Wow, and that was close there. There's a little bit of damage to the left side of the 88, your race leader, but he held on to it enough to keep the lead, and Dustin Franklin is not even really close enough to be in the camera shot. It's still about a 3-second, 4-second gap between the two, but it shrunk quite a bit because of that incident. And that just goes to show you, folks, it's never over until it's over. Jesse Carlson with a huge and commanding lead. And that was nearly the end of it. Dustin McClintock in the 20, he was out of shape in turn 1 there, and he nearly came back up in front of your race leader, Jesse Carlson. Thankfully he didn't, and he was able to gather control again in time and hold on to it. Man, that was close. And what lap are you on, Alex?
2 to go.
2 to go for the leaders?
Yeah, 2 to go for the leaders.
Okay. So Jesse Carlson coming down the long straightaway now and into the final 2 turns, and when he comes back to the start-finish line, he will see the white flag, folks. And there it is. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go in the 2021 New York 200 at Watkins Glen International. And it's been an amazing performance by Jesse Carlson, closing in on his 3rd win of the 2021 NASCAR Truck Series season. And it's his first of the season on a road course for the trucks, but His 2 Motormaster Series wins this season were both on a road course, so none of us up here in the booth are surprised by Jesse's talent and skill and speed that he's shown here in today's race. Very much a road course ringer, and a lot of these drivers were looking at him as the favorite to go out and win this race. He won stage 1, he won stage 2, he qualified on pole. He practiced probably more than any other driver did, maybe except for Josh Colm-Diaz, for this race throughout the week, and he talked to me a lot throughout the week about this race coming up. He was very excited for it, and rightfully so. Through the final couple of turns, here he comes, Jesse Carlson for Steel Horse Motorsports. He wins the New York 200 at Watkins Glen International.
Good for him.
I say the same thing. 3 wins now here in the 2021 season for him. Congratulations to Jesse Carlson. He wins at Watkins Glen, and it's a tricky road course. It's not easy here. Kudos to him for getting the job done. Dustin Franklin in the 45 brings it home in second, and Beam SKP rather in the 16 is going to bring it home in third. These drivers are so strung out around this racetrack. A lot of them are still coming around to complete their lap and claim their finishing positions. There's Brett Baker in the 2. He'll finish in 4th. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23 will finish in 5th. What a race we saw here, Watkins Glen International. What a finish it was. Congratulations to Jesse Carlson. We're going to hear from him, and we're going to hear from Dustin Franklin and Beam SKP as well before we sign off for the evening. Second annual NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series race at the Watkins Glen International Road Course, and we have not been disappointed either time we've come here for one of these truck races. And last year we saw the underdog win of the year. It was voted for, and that was Ayrton Frederick in the 02 Silverado picking up the win. This year we see the kid, Jesse Carlson, picking up the win for Steel Horse Motorsports. Feel good moment for him, I'm sure. And Shadow, if you could be so kind to invite the top 3 finishers into this party chat so I don't have to go to a black screen, that would be wonderful.
Yep, I got it.
Thank you. So that would be NASCAR Oof, Beam, if you're friends with them.
No, I can search him up though.
Okay. Fastest lap of the race, I always like looking at that. Went to the race winner, Jesse Carlson. Dustin Franklin finished second on that chart, and also second in the race, so a lot of justice was served perhaps here in the finishing order. And once again, congratulations to Jesse Carlson. Post-race interviews coming up.
So, is it also Dust Bunnies and Beam?
Yes, please. I'll do Beam. No worries, I can do that one too. Whew, I'm worn out. Long, grueling, challenging race for these drivers. I can only imagine how they feel. Most of them were on wheels for this one. It was a 74-lap race at Watkins Glen International, and if any of you out there have ever run a 100% distance race on a wheel at Watkins Glen International, whether it's a truck or Xfinity car or Cup car, you know that you're in for it, and it's one heck of a challenge all race long. And just waiting to have the drivers arrive for post-race interviews. here from tonight's New York 200. Do we have our first and second place finishers in here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We do not have beam.
Okay. We're going to move forward here, and we have our runner-up finisher in the lobby, the driver of the 45, and that is Dustin Franklin. And Dustin, I was shocked, man, to see your road course success and your speed out there. When you messaged me and you wanted to enter this race, you made it sound like you kind of just wanted to log laps and learn about the road courses more and get some track time. But then here you are going out there and challenging for the stage win and for the race win against one of our very best road course ringers, Jesse Carlson. Tell us how you were able to make that happen and find so much speed out there.
Well, I do a bunch of different leagues throughout the week, and I've always been really good at road courses, and I've gotten to where I've been adjusting my settings a little bit. So that's why I asked if I could enter, because I had adjusted on them a little bit and had practiced a little bit, but it's hard to do practice offline because it's so much different than what it is online. So that's what I meant by I just wanted to log some laps, but I didn't think I'd be top 5 like I was, and I definitely could have given the, I don't remember what number he is now, the 88 a battle at least, but I got wrecked by a lap car with like 9 to go or something, and it cost me about 10 seconds.
I was going to ask you about that, yeah, because we were wondering where exactly you went. We knew you were right on the tailgate of the 88, and then when we went through the field a little bit, came back up, you had lost a little bit of distance, and yeah, okay, that explains a little bit. Is there anything you maybe could have done a little differently to secure the win for you tonight, aside from that incident with the lapped car?
Yeah, I could have. I mean, if the incident with the lap car doesn't happen, I think I could have been close enough, maybe a bump and run there. But other than that, I mean, he was fast. He was, I think, three tenths faster than I was, or fastest lap. He was 3/10 faster than I was. But other than that, no, there wasn't much I could do. I just preferred it to have been a little closer versus a 10-second difference. But going back to your first question, like I said, I've been adjusting with my settings, and I've been practicing with Trey Hollywood and Jordan Roten a lot too. So my road course skills are definitely getting better.
Oh, I can tell, man. Yeah, keep going in the right direction like the way you are, and you're going to be in victory lane before long. Congratulations on your second place finish here at Watkins Glen.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And that was Dustin Franklin. Very talented driver here on NASCAR Heat 5, runs in multiple leagues, and proving why a lot of drivers out there know that he's one of the very best here, and finishing in the runner-up spot at Watkins Glen International. Good run for him out there. And we're going to go over to victory lane here, where we find Jesse Carlson, the driver of the number 88 Ford F-150. Third time in your 2021 campaign that you've found a victory lane this season. First time on a road course in the trucks. But I was saying to everybody during the race that your only 2 Motormaster wins this season were both on road courses. So despite you being winless so far in the trucks on road courses, this wasn't really a big surprise to anybody. Did it surprise you at all? And how were you able to get that much speed out there and keep the lead for as long as you did?
Well, I was able to keep that speed. Just made minimal mistakes. Knew what setup to run. Made barely any mistakes. First race at Kansas, it was nice to be able to use my wheel for the first time, and had a great stage 1. Got up to second somehow, and stayed with the pack in stage 2 and finished like 3rd. Yeah, and then final stage of that, I got caught up in something. I brought out one of the first cautions in the last stage. It's the first time on the wheel. It's hard for me to keep control and feather that throttle. And yeah, for our last pit stop at Kansas, I took only fuel and then I blew my tire in turn 1 last lap and finished 13th, but I was okay.
Looked like you had the track really well figured out there. You led a lot of laps in this one. You qualified on the pole. But what was going through your mind when drivers like Dustin Franklin and Josh Colm-Diaz were able to get around you at times and take the lead? Did it worry you a little bit, or did you just stay confident and go to work?
It didn't really worry me. All that worried me is dirty air and the ability to hold up people. I'm not mad about that. I'm just saying. The bus stop, I like that corner. I've always liked it since NASCAR 15. If I would have used my wheel, I probably would have gotten the top 5. I wouldn't have got that win, but I could have made an effort, but I chose to use the control wheel this time.
Looks like you made the right decision and it all paid off for you. Congratulations on winning the New York 200 at Watkins Glen.
Thank you for the competition, everyone that raced.
That was a phenomenal race. That was Jesse Carlson, 3rd win of the season for him here in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. He's got 2 in the Motormaster Series this season as well. He's on a bit of a roll here, many would say. He's got a ride secured for the 2021 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series and many more good things to come, I'm sure, for the kid, Jesse Carlson. And that's going to do it. The New York 200 is in the history books, the 2nd annual New York 200 at Watkins Glen from NOSSCAR, and glad everybody joined us, tuned in for the show. Round 13 of the Tailgate Truck Series season is in the history books, and we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Congratulations to Jesse Carlson and Steel Horse Motorsports, and from all of us here at NOSSCAR, we're saying so long and stay fast, folks.